It is Brian. I'm at 67 Empringham Drive. I'm actually just kind of making a video to kind of give an update on what's going on with me right now. I got acne. It's really juvenile, as stupid investigators. But basically, I started doing sodium. I have a lot of sodium in my diet. No potassium except meat and bread, noodles, basic things that always have it. That's it. Really good diet. It's pretty good. I got multivitamins. I've been having milk and other stuff. I am getting quite a bit better. You can tell right now just by my face and everything, which is the worst looking part of me, as sad as that sounds. Maybe not. Anyway, but it feels better. Everything feels better. But I got these voices still from stupid investigation, and they don't stop. I'm trying to clear out the investigation as quick as I can, so I'm starting to get to the point where I'm actually adjusting things in my diet so that I take in more oxygen, and I want to make sure that happens so that I get this investigation out of my system. Oxygen, sodium, calcium for sure, and I'm thinking that's going to wipe it out. I pretty much have to. It sounds bad because it is basically like drug use. I'm getting to the point where I'm actually sort of adjusting my physical chemistry in ways that can promote health and recovery of my entire body, starting with head and shoulders. I came up with that because I can do a shoulder press upside down as a handstand with my feet against the wall or the door or something, right? So it's pretty solid. And when I do that once, it is actually making the blood flow go to my shoulders as well as my head, along with the thinking, which is automatic, so that's going to cause a lot more still speech impediments from stupid investigations. They're putting thoughts and putting words in my mind. They're taking memories, taking thoughts, taking words, so that I can't even say what I'm trying to say properly. And I don't look like I'm not normal to the point where a 40-year-old is, in terrible condition, right? It's really insane. And so these mafia terrorist investigators are still in my brain. It could have been from Calgary, it could have been from before, but this was happening the whole time in Calgary while I was working. Sabotaged 4 jobs of mine: Value Village, Western Electrical, Rescon Electrical as well, and then Delphi Electrical. I applied to some other jobs. I started hearing things before I even got there, like Highline. I accepted a job at Highline Traffic Signals. I should have kept it. That would have been a great job. Supposedly the guys there are terrorist abductors, poisoners, and other people, and I don't want to name anyone specifically because I don't even know their names, but I remember being abducted to that location, and obviously I didn't show up to work because this is repeating 10 years. When I showed up to that location, there were people acting stupid with me, and there was abduction, and not only getting me there, but then also around that location, so really messed up stuff. So I didn't even show up to work this time, and I'm pretty sure that was the same last time because I kind of remember that. I messaged AIT and I was like, it didn't work out at that company, and that was all I said because I'm like, this is messed up. I don't know what to do. So it's kind of messed up. It's like I'm listening to the voices, but half of the shit they're saying is true. It's like a lot of society and people is like terrorists that are abducting and poisoning people as if they're investigators or some kind of they think law enforcement, or I'm thinking terrorists that are trying to control people. It seems like kind of like the Middle East kind of stuff, ISIS or Afghanistan, the Taliban or whatever, except the Taliban and people are killing people. These people, I'm pretty sure their motive is rape and poison and memory poison and abduction and just making you look bad so that they don't. That's their objectives, and it is, I think it's worse than ISIS, because if I had a 6-shot revolver, which is my new thing, rather than a semi-automatic pistol, which can be used as a deadly assault weapon against other people, a 6-shot revolver could end my life real quick and put this misery to an end. And that's how stupid this is getting and how bad it got last time. But the messed up thing is none of that's happened yet, and it is yet to come. So all this happened already, and now we're repeating it, and as if this went wrong worse than it already has, with me losing those jobs and losing all faith in this country, and supposedly it got worse than that, and I was basically abducted around, possibly raped, lost my memory. I had no idea any of this happened. I lost all of my stuff. Most of it's already gone from throwing it out just from moving, and I lost everything, and I had no recollection of it. And then I was back living in 2015 again instead of 2025, because it's 2024 right now, December. So really messed up stuff. I'm not really too sure what to make of it all, except that I just sort of got to wait and see how it's going. But I don't think it's going to go well. I'm getting ready to put some videos online. I don't think the people that are working with the government, the police, and the investigation are doing things right. And I think it could be because they are ex-members of those organizations or something to do with that. I'm thinking mafia policing, where it could be RCMP, police, others that have left the service and started doing mafia-related activity in Canada, all over the country. And they've affected me in the U.S., which makes me kind of worry the U.S. might have the same problem. But I was warned at the border, if you're not doing well, and even though I look well, you know it's not true. If you're not doing well, you do not go through the U.S. because you can't. It's not safe there either. This is possibly a cross-border, international terrorist organization, and it is affecting people all over the world. So my take on it is, if I travel, they can travel because they look like me, they act like me, they talk like me. Some of them are women, but women are usually the victims of rape, abduction, poison, slavery, basically, where there's sexual slavery. They're trafficked, and they're convinced that they have to do certain things for these guys. They've been telling me with voices. I haven't been seeing anyone for 10 years since my ex. I have no interest except that I'm hoping I could just bum some kind of life off someone who's doing better than me and just be everything that they ever wanted. And that would be a miracle for me. But then that almost sounds like I'm becoming one of the women who's sex trafficked and just being a part of something with another person who uses them because they don't have anything and they're not doing well. And those other people are possibly having a lot more than them, having houses, jobs, other things, looking, feeling a lot better than they are, and taking advantage of it and abusing these people. So I'm almost becoming kind of like that, but a male version, which is not going to have much luck because, as you know, girls would probably be taken advantage of by a lot more guys than the number of guys that would be taken advantage of by girls. Girls can find what they want easily as far as sexual conduct and other things, and their interests would probably be very minimal unless they're already victims of hormonal rape, such as myself, from time to time, if not all the time. But it's getting better with sodium, which makes me think that a potassium diet is actually linked with sexual attraction, so that they can do that easier with one step instead of two. I haven't learned more about that. I don't really care to, except prevention. And I think sodium is already prevention. Sodium high. And one thing I forgot to mention, I think they're taking sodium from me. I've had low sodium my whole life. Doing handstands, my head would rush with blood because my blood pressure is too low. That's low sodium. It's almost zero sodium. If your sodium is even reasonable, even moderate, maybe 10% of your blood has sodium in it, your blood pressure is good enough to do a handstand without any trouble. That's what got me doing that. It's actually low blood pressure that's evidence that they're stealing sodium, they're taking it from me, which is poison of some kind because I've been ingesting it my whole life. Cheese, one of my favorite things, milk, and I drink almond milk. My mom recommended that because I used to be lactose intolerant. Almond milk is a soda. It's 150 to 30 potassium. So the sodium's high, and it's a lot better. And I'm having stuff like that. I have been my whole life. Lunch meats. I can't retain the sodium until recently, when I've been having so much sodium in my diet constantly, all through the day, without big breaks between ingesting some fluid or food, that I actually have been getting sapped of all my sodium. There has been almost no sodium in my diet because of that, because of these mafia-related terrorists that are doing this stuff to me. So it is a poisoning event. I've mentioned it to police in the country. They didn't have any idea what was going on, or they seemed to not have any idea. I even even sent an email to Ottawa about the warning about the travel warning, the travel advisory. It was on the U.S. government website, and they're saying the travel advisory for Canada is a level 1, which is the lowest. Travel advisory for Afghanistan is a level 4. It makes sense because it's in a war state with a lot of crime and activity like that. The description of a level 4 is equal to what was happening in Canada. Rape, poison, abduction, murder in some cases where you are literally dead and someone has to revive you and you don't even know who it is or where you are, but you're not in the hospital and you're certain that you were out and you were dead, and even voices try to make you feel like that was the truth. I've been drowned outside of the country in Costa Rica, but in the country I've had multiple events where this sort of thing has happened. So yes, when I say murder, I mean it, and I'm still here, but they don't let you die. They want to put the fear of dying in you. And once they start doing that, I guess they figure you'll comply with what their interests are, getting you to join and possibly be as I've seen recently on the Netherlands website, a jihadist, where you're starting to do what these terrorists want. I don't know if it's related to Muslim religion or the Middle East or whatever, but it is people that are trying to influence you to do what they want so that they can have control over you and use you as a drone, a human drone, being controlled by voices, thoughts, and intent to do harm to people that they don't like so that they don't get caught. And these people are hiding in the civilization that we're in here. In Canada, they are everywhere. I can't believe it. It is unbelievable. And the people that shot at Trump in the U.S., those people are probably the same people as we see up here in Canada. And they're not joking when they told me at Coates at the border, we can't let you through here because you're not doing well. And that's all they said, but they said, you got to be doing a little bit better, even though you went through a lot. Before we let you in here, it's just not safe and it could lead to future problems. We don't want to have a situation where we don't let you in, and it is actually just something where it's sort of a precaution for me, just so that I don't end up on bad terms with them if something went wrong when I was down there, right? Such as being, missing in the U.S. for weeks. And then I get to the border on the Canadian side and they say it was supposed to take 7 days. What happened? You basically just illegally immigrated for an extra week because we were expecting you sooner. So I'm not too sure about that. I trusted them, and I think that's actually helped me to think about the immigration process now. Diversity is basically shut down. It was shut down in 6 days in for the Canadian side. They don't take anyone from Canada, or it filled up so fast that there were dozens, hundreds of people, maybe applying thousands for all I know. 50,000 maximum between all the countries in the world, and the U.S. wasn't taking Canada by the 6th of October for diversity. It was the 2nd when it opened this year, so I missed that, couldn't apply. It's probably better because of what I heard at the border that you don't travel when you're not doing well, and even if you look like you're doing okay, minus the acne here. It was acne, it isn't bruising. There has been bruising. I can explain, I'm not worried about that. But the acne is definitely not normal, but I mean the rest of this for a 40-year-old, I look fairly okay. I would say that's a normal look, but that's not what they're talking about. It's not about your physical appearance, it's not about your nationality, hair color, it's not about any of that. It's about just being well and being someone who is mentally confident to be able to do stuff without having any psychological troubles. And I think the psychological troubles not a lot of people want to talk about because there's the accusation that you're having problems and that it's your fault when it isn't. There's nothing you can do about it. If you start getting this thinking or any other things, memory poison, any of that kind of stuff affecting you, thoughts put in where I wasn't thinking of that, what's that coming in my mind for? Any of that stuff is not your fault. It's not something you can control, and I think the only way to recover from that is to actually have a sodium, calcium, oxygen diet. You got to have high oxygen, and the only way you get oxygen, other than stuff with oxygen in it, would be inhalation. You got to breathe. So, and I know how to improve some of that. I'm not going to talk about it too much here for now, but basically that's all you can do to recover from what they're doing. And with a potassium diet, you just stagnate and you become a permanent investigation, a permanent person who's never going to get better. But people are promoting that as if it's not bad when it is also potentially linked with rape, because I've had it my whole life, and I've had a condition where for almost my whole life I have been sexually thinking I'm attracted when I shouldn't be multiple times over a long duration, and it happens very easily with certain people. Not to blame them, just that I might be thinking about something already, so the investigation takes advantage of that and makes it look like I'm weak-minded and I just think of that quickly. Yet I control myself very well when it happens. So very silly, but I think the potassium is related with that, and I think anyone who's promoting that at this point kind of looks like a jihadist, because they are actually promoting a potassium diet, which is related to pheromonal rape and sexual attraction when it shouldn't be happening. So absolute terrorism. I can expand on all of this right now at this moment in time. It's December 9th, I believe, 2024. I'll put this video online. I'm not really sure how that's going to go, because I feel like I'm not necessarily in a safe place. I'm in Scarborough, Ontario, 67 Abraham Drive, and I'm not really too sure what to do beyond that. But for now, I'm not putting this online because I've just given my address as well. So I'm going to kind of see how it goes. But I wanted to have an updated video for now, and just kind of let some thoughts out about what I'm going through and how I'm feeling. It's really, really disturbing what I've been going through, and I feel like life in this country is not going to go well. It hasn't been. 40 years is too much to just wait around and see if it gets better. I think this is a policing and other problem. It's not just me. And I think the police that are affected aren't necessarily bad people. They're just going through what I'm going through, and they can't even admit it. But they should, because of how dangerous it is for them and other people. There can be moments where I literally just don't know what happened. Someone came up behind me, they did something, took something, gave something to me, and I don't even know. I don't even recall it. It could have even been rape, and I'm unaware. And if that sort of stuff can happen because of what's in my mind, it is not safe for me to be having other people's lives in my hands. And I think a lot of the police in the country are in the same boat as me, because that's who these people don't like. They don't like the police. They don't like people that are doing things better. When I was working hard, harder than most, as an electrician, they were criticizing my hard work as if I was working too hard, making people look bad. They don't like people who are good with everything. They're good about stuff. They're happy. They enjoy life. They don't like that. They want to see that you're miserable. They want to see that you're broken-spirited. They want to see that you don't enjoy it and that you're complaining. Or you don't complain because they don't want you to complain. So they only want you to complain about what they want. And it is actually kind of that stupid where it is a terrorist control of people. And I don't think the police would get away with being involved in it, so I don't think it is the police or the RCMP, for example. But it could be, because of how it looks. Whenever I mention it, no one seems to have any solutions. No one seems to have any idea about it. And so it does look like that. It does look like that's a problem, which is becoming even worse, because civilians like me don't know who to side with unless they're just not going to put up with the terrorists and they don't like the other side. And then you're somewhere in between. And somewhere in between is sort of dangerous, because you don't have any friends, you don't have anyone to go to, you can't call for help. You don't side with the bad people, and you don't side with the people that are supposed to be good, and you just don't know what to do until it gets bad enough that you have no choice and you have to go to one of them, and then in most cases that would be the police, right? Really silly. Not really sure how this is going to go, but still stay positive in society and try to, look reasonable. Clean my teeth today. We're not doing too bad, but yeah, I'm fucking completely insane. Wish I had a gun. This is fucking insane. And yeah, 6-shot revolver, because you don't do a semi-automatic shooting. You're not trying to hurt people, but it can end you real quick if you just don't want to put up with this life anymore. So that's what I keep thinking. But it's kind of a positive note, aside from the fact that Canada doesn't let me have them. I don't really have anyone to do paperwork with to get myself one. And maybe I'll learn something by the end of this. I'm going to kind of just see how it goes. Anyway, over and out.